Okay, there I am,
Hi there.
and there you are.
I am here.
Literally, as I
Here am
was
I.
as I was flipping over the bumper, I was like, "God damn it!" I just remembered I switched microphones for the radio
Oh boy.
drama, and and I forgot to switch the microphone source back in OBS for the podcast. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Decode Plus, the gaming and esports podcast right here on Digital Era Twitch. I am your hostess, Taylor May. That is your host, Ken Cardez. We missed
We're
October,
back, baby.
okay?
We missed October.
Get over
That's
it.
okay.
We were
October
busy.
October was busy.
We
We had
had
a lot of games
going
on.
on.
I mean, prior, if you remember the last episode, we had the smorgasbord of games that came out in October anyway. So we were definitely very busy
we
gaming.
we had our hands full, okay? Sorry if we forgot to do a podcast because we were so busy playing all of these wonderful games that just came out over the past couple months. Our
Well,
bad. Anyway,
have you played anything recently? Or
I'm
that's a no.
I listen.
Besides your horse racing.
Listen, the Unity Cup is like the Unity Cup in Umamusume, the new scenario event finally dropped on the western side, so we have more than just the URA finale. I have been power leveling my team like crazy. I'm actually on a really good grind. The Halloween event that the western servers are delayed on just dropped today, so I've been busy with that.
Mhm.
But I know I need to play more games. I know there is more to life than just horse girls. I just some of you
Some
might
might
say that's
disagree.
blasphemy, and you are correct. But I really need to
Yeah.
broaden my horizons as a gamer. It's bad,
That's
Ken.
okay. The thing to understand is that, like, as we get older, our time for gaming, sometimes does become less and less, especially if you have kids, if you're taking care of a household, or like your job just really tires you out that much. There are times that I have come home, turned on my PlayStation, sat on my bed, and because I'm so comfortable, I'm literally,
Yeah, I've done
when I
that before.
wake up. I get home usually by like 6:30. Sometimes I turn it on just because I want to try to get a little bit of a game. I sit down, I get comfortable, without realizing it, I just pass
Yeah,
out. And then I wake up, 2 hours have passed, and I've just taken a nap with my PlayStation 5 controller in my hand.
yeah. It's no just like it's happened to me. So like no judgment whatsoever on that front. But
There's
like
been times I've been to my partner's house and I have my PlayStation in her bedroom. There have been times where I sat down on the bed, I turned on the PlayStation, and the bed is so comfortable. I'm just like,
yeah, sometimes
and she's
sometimes
like,
the bed just
did you
calls.
fall asleep?
So
Hmm.
and then the bed has called and I must answer.
Hmm.
um, but no,
But yeah.
I get it entirely. Like my own life, I've been like end of the year for me has always been like historically busy. Like there's end of year stuff happening at work. I usually have a flurry of a handful of cons that I'm either working or attending at the end of the year. Case in point, I was working Sonic Expo these past couple of weeks. Uh,
Right.
which was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to going back. Uh, I'm about to get married next week, so that's happening. We're looking into moving into a new apartment at the start of the year. So it's like it. Forgive me if in the absolute chaos of this world I settle in the few hours that I have to myself to game, I settle into my comfort games because I know that I will enjoy them and I don't have to think. I can just you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely understand that 110%. You know, um, we're very busy. Grown up life is not easy. I miss the days when I was young and carefree and didn't really have to worry about a lot. I think that's why when I was like in my teens to my early 20s, I was able to enjoy like the old school JRPGs so much more because I had the time.
Yeah.
And now I really don't. Like it's
It's
I
good.
mean I have time to game, I just don't have the same time that I used to have where like I could break night. There were times that I would break night and go to school like on no sleep. I can't do that anymore.
I'm pretty sure if I tried to game all night with no sleep, regardless of whether or not I work the next morning, I feel like there's a good chance I'd end up in the hospital these
For
days.
sure.
Like, that's not even a joke. Just my body's
No.
just become so fragile over the years.
Yeah.
But
The October was stacked. I was playing Ghost of Yotei, Ninja Gaiden 4, Dispatch, all
how are you
three
liking Dispatch, by
fantastic.
the way? A lot of my friends have been playing it and they've had nothing but rave reviews about it.
Dispatch is one of the best narrative experiences that I have played through this year. The
God.
story is phenomenal, and I've done twice to get two different endings. And it's basically the second coming of Telltale. Ad Hoc Studios is originally these devs were the original devs at Telltale, the ones responsible for the Walking Dead game with Lee and Clementine, the first Wolf Among Us.
A personal favorite of
So
mine.
now the new Telltale is all new guys. It's a whole new studio, but Ad Hoc is also helping them work on the upcoming Wolf Among Us 2 sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But as a separate studio, they came out with Dispatch, which has been phenomenally successful. Deserves all the accolades. It is a fantastic superhero story, and you're the guy in the chair. Like that's who
Mm-hmm.
you play as. It's literally you're a superhero dispatcher. There's more to the story. I don't want to spoil it because that's how good
Sure, sure, sure.
the story is. Like I fell in love with all the characters. I even had a favorite romance option. I was like, "There's no way I'm not romancing that other person." Nah, I don't. That's the obvious choice. I'm gonna go for the road less traveled. Apparently, I was incorrect because 54% of the player base chose the same romance option that I did. So, well,
Now, see, like in Dispatch was gonna be one of those games. Like, yes, I'd heard about it. Yes, like Second Coming of Telltale, one of my favorite studios. They produce one of my favorite games of all time, A Wolf Among Us. Such good shit. But
oh, that's always
um, it was also kind of one of those games. Like, I'm not that big into like superhero stuff myself personally. So I was content to kind of just live vicariously through my friends' experiences, like watch like a couple of people I follow on Twitch have been playing it, tune into some of their streams. But just now, you said my trigger word that makes me know I have to buy this game now. You said the word narrative, and I'm just I'm a sucker for a good narrative.
I mean, I think most of us at digital era entertainment are. Like, if you look at a lot of our personalized favorite game choices, if you look at our past history on our annual Game of the Year videos, a lot of the games that wind up winnings are the ones that tell fantastic
Yeah.
stories. We're all a sucker. Fantastic narratives.
Hell, even Helldivers 2 has a narrative happening in the background. Maybe not as you're on the planets fighting the missions, but it's there. It's happening.
It's, I love how a lot of it is just so integrated into so many aspects of the culture that we have today. Like it's integrated into their social media accounts. It's integrated into their Discord. Like if even if you're not on the Discord, if you follow them on Instagram, if you follow them on Twitter or whatever, if you follow their Facebook, like there's a ongoing sort of like D&D style campaign going on
A little
where they're
bit,
just
yeah.
winging it. Like, and that's what makes Helldivers fantastic. Like there is a story, and it's not necessarily told 100% in game, but it's told,
And don't forget the
and
ARG
that
they
makes me.
had, the ARG they had
Yeah,
going leading up to the invasion of Super Earth. Like that was in depth.
they really go out. of their way to like bring everyone in together.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
it's tough. No, no, not at all. But it's just it's as we like to say, it's such good shit. So,
Oh yeah.
speaking of good shit, we got a good show today. A lot has happened over the past month and a half, but there's three main things that stick out over the past 3 months. We had a very interesting Sony state of play um, earlier. I think it was like in November. I'm trying to remember when it aired. I feel like it was November. I think it was like November 10th or something. It's basically the beginning of the month. Um, and that was pretty cool. We'll talk about that first. We're gonna also talk about the new Steam machine, the GabeCube, as the internet has affectionately called it.
The
And of
Gabe
course,
Cube. I love that.
and because we're reaching the end of the year and it's our favorite time where we like to talk about some of the best games of the year 2025, I'm going to be talking about the Game Awards and our thoughts on that as well. So, first up, let's talk about the Sony State of Play. What was interesting about this state of play, it was a special Japan-focused state of play, um, which like from beginning to end was just jam-packed, full of games from upcoming titles. We had a lot of new game announcements. There were actual confirmed release dates. Um, and it was just really interesting. One of the things that I like about this state of play, over the other state of plays. This one had a physical presence of a host, and it was set up sort of like a almost like a talk show styled environment. The
Okay.
host was Yuki Kaji, who was a well-renowned Japanese voice actor. He's played a bunch of different voices in gaming. He's also in anime as well, so nice little cross reference there. And he just chill. He was chill, relaxing, announcing games. Some of the games had the developers on hand, and they would have small little interviews, and it felt very personal, very homely, very different from the normal state of plays that we get here, where it's just like, here's game, it's very corporate, like rigid and direct, so to speak.
Hmm.
Pun. Um, but yeah, we had a couple of games announced. A lot of these were from Japanese developers. Some of these games were very interesting to see. Um, Off rip, we had a announcement for a Blaze Blue spin-off called Entropy Effect X, which looks to be sort of a roguelike action and adventure game
Ooh.
launching on the PlayStation 5 on February 12th. It's going to feature 14 characters from the series. We'll have an entire brand new story, and it'll allow you to basically craft your own playstyle through character builds. Being that it's a roguelike, you get to kind of formulate your character as they go through the game. Looks very stylish, has the same Blaze Blue look that we know and love, just in the form of a action role playing, like a sort of like an action RPG style, roguelike game. Um, the psychological horror anthology known as Broken Lore. This is a series that is extremely popular in Japan.
Okay.
Has two new updates. They're doing a story called Broken Lore Unfollow, which is a story themed around the dark side of social media. And then there was a Broken Lore Ascend, which is a survival horror game that has like climbing elements
Hmm.
set in present day Tokyo. The Broken Lore series is very popular in Japan. I think this marks the first two games that are actually going to come to the Western side as well. Um, Broken Lore is set to come out January 16th, so
Oh, okay.
just a month and a half away. And these games are really, really good. I'm gonna assume that was a sneeze. So bless you.
I've got like some phlegm and stuff happening right now, so I'm just coughing stuff up. Stream's
Sure.
not gonna hear it because I'm muting my mic, but you will. Sorry.
No. But yeah, the Broken Lore series, I'm excited to see it come, to Western audiences. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of psychological horror. They're fantastic games. I cannot recommend them anymore. Like, and the fact that that's how we're going to kick off January 2026 in gaming, with this series is very exciting for me. We then got an announcement of a spin-off from the popular Coffee Talk series, Coffee Talk Tokyo, which will launch on March 5th. This game is set in a cafe in Tokyo. It's a narrative adventure that lets you play as a barista. You brew cups of coffee, you listen to the stories of humans, and you also listen to the stories of ghosts who visit the cafe. And it just plays out like that. You get involved in like the storyline. Obviously, it gets a little bit more deeper. But for the most part, it's supposed to be like a cozy styled game. Another announcement was Damon and Baby, which will be coming in early 2026 as well. It follows a cursed demon lord and a human child on a heartfelt journey together. It's gonna be an action adventure game that has like a twin stick shooter element. You collect loot, you level up, and the character's bond grows stronger as you progress through the game. We got a DLC announcement for Digimon Story Time Stranger, which I'm actually this is one of the things that I didn't know. I didn't know how popular these Digimon video games are, and apparently they're like amazing. So I'm kind of curious to check this one out. But we got a DLC for Alternate Dimension. It's the first season pass DLC, which will be coming out this winter. It will add 5 unique Digimon and a new story centered on key characters to the game.
Hmm.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined had their sort of a trailer just to show you how the characters look and everything. It's going to be launching on the PlayStation 5 February 5th. This new version is also going to add an episode where you reunite with an adult Kifa in a new area and you team up with this character again, set after the events of the main game. So that'll be interesting for people who are looking to kind of get into the Dragon Quest series. I realized that Square has been really pushing out the remakes. They did the 3 HD, we got the 1 and 2 HD. They're kind of like pushing the Dragon Quest series again, which I'm very happy for. It's a series I've grown up with. I love the Dragon Quest games. I just recently picked up the 1 and 2 HD remake for my Switch. So I've been playing that as well. I'm very excited to see 7 drop. I'll probably get it for PlayStation because that one's one that I don't think I want to play on the go as much. I think I want to sit down and play that one.
Fair enough.
We got a DLC for Dynasty Warrior Origins, Visions of the Four Heroes DLC, which will launch on January 26, 2026. You can actually pre-order it now. It's going to have a new story centered on the four heroes in the games, new weapons, new allies, and of course the same old Dynasty Warriors content that you know and love. Elden Ring Night Rain is also getting a DLC, which is weird because it itself is kind of like a DLC expansion in a way. So the DLC is getting a DLC.
Hey,
So
dog, we
dog,
heard
I
you like
heard you like
DLCs.
DLCs, your
Had to do
DLC,
it to him.
DLC. But yeah, more Elden Ring. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of like over it now. And I like the game. I like Elden Ring, but I don't know. A part of me is just like I think it was just one of those like I liked it. I'm done with it. I don't want to go back to it.
Again, fair enough.
We got we got an announcement of a remake, or a new trailer of a remake for Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. The
Ooh.
remake is coming out March 12th. It is a full remake of the classic 2003 Japanese horror adventure. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Fatal Frame series, it is a game where you um, kind of like go around. It's kind of like a Silent Hill style game, but you confront like the spirits and the ghosts using a camera. So imagine a survival horror Pokemon Snap type game, and that's Fatal Frame. So I don't
Survival
know if
horror
that does
Pokemon Snap. That just sounds like it would be a kick-ass Pokemon game.
right. Here's Gengar.
Yeah.
You know,
Pokemon Snap Gengar's Revenge or something. I don't know.
we got a announcement of Fate Trigger, which is a next generation tactical hero shooter that begins early access in quarter one 2026. Um, looked interesting. I don't know, kind of like over it when it comes to the hero shooter genre myself.
Same.
Uh, Marvel Marvel Rivals to me, I felt was like the peak, and I'm just like, this it's not getting better than this anytime soon. So it is what it is. We got the Gran Turismo 7 Power Pack DLC. This will be releasing in December. I think it comes out December 4th. It is a paid add-on that will introduce a brand new game mode packed with authentic motorsport challenges that you can play online with other people around the world and actual contests with other people around the world. There's going to be 24-hour endurance racing and full-on raced weekend tournaments. Um, yeah, Gran Turismo serious business for those people who really enjoy those games and really play them. Um, I don't know how they do it. They just keep making this series and it keeps one-upping itself year in and year out every time they make a new one. We got another sort of a cozy styled game called Inconveni One Store, Many Stories. It is a slice of life game coming to the PlayStation 5 in April. You take on the role of a convenience store clerk in a quiet town, and you kind of just interact with people as they shop in your store, and things happen. Launching in January, we have a new 3D action RPG from the team that has given us the RPG series Disgaea. This game is called Kyoran Makaism. You can turn defeated enemies into 16 different types of familiars, and you can command them and use them to fight and stuff. Looks really cool. It's Disgaea, for those of you who are fans of Disgaea. Um, you know, yay. We got the announcement for the next closed beta for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Tokon is going to launch this beta on December 5th. The beta will add Spider-Man and Ghost Rider to the roster. And it's also going to have two new stages. They're adding the Savage Land stage as well as X Mansion. So that looks pretty cool. Monster Hunter's getting the free title update. Monster Hunter 4 title update arrives on December 16th. It's gonna add the giant halberd dragon Gogmazios, which is a very classic fight for Monster Hunter fans, adding additional endgame content as well as seasonal events. Another game called Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse. It's a Metroidvania style game, 2D roguelike game with boss battles and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. Not much more I can say from that. We have No Sleep for Kaname, which is from the AI Somnium Files. That'll be launching on February 26th. The AI Somnium Files games apparently have a really big following. This is something I just discovered the other day as I was trying to research the game series. That
I've
was
been
really
meaning to
interesting.
I've been meaning to get into those games because like a friend of mine really enjoys them. So and like
Yeah,
I've kind of looked into them a little bit and like I really it's probably gonna be I'm probably gonna push that towards the top of my to playlist for 2026 is getting into that series just because it looks so intriguing that I might finally crack. It's like okay, I'm we're gonna play it. We're gonna see what this is all about because it looks really interesting and something like I might really enjoy.
yeah, I like the concept that it has where the person's AI like companion is like inside their eye. I thought that was pretty cool. So it has a looks like it has an interesting premise. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get around to playing it, but I might like watch a playthrough or something,
Mhm.
just to kind of figure out what's going on in that story. We got a demo announcement for Octopath Traveler Zero, which will be launching on December 4th. The demo allows you to play the first 3 hours, and your progress will carry into the full release when it launches.
Oh, nice.
We got an announcement from Khan Katamari, which will get a couple of DLC packs related to Dance Dance Remix. Um, more Katamari is always good. Pac-Man World Re Pac-Man World 2 Repack gets a Sonic collaboration DLC coming out soon. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds announced their SpongeBob SquarePants DLC, which already has launched at the time of this recording. So if you have the Cross Worlds game, you can get your Sonic DLC while you're at it. Super Robot Wars Y also has a DLC pack coming that launched earlier this week. one of the biggest announcements for me personally. I'm a huge fan of arcade style racing games. After 20 years, we finally have a new Tokyo Extreme Racer coming to the PlayStation 5 in February.
Nice.
Out of all the announcements that came out of the state of play, that one was like the one that made me sit up in my seat, like, what? Gaming
Gotcha.
done? Hurt my face. The RPG Wandering Sword will launch on May 28th. It's set in China. It has stunning pixel art, dual battle modes, and 20 endings shaped by your choices. Damn.
20
One of the other cool.
endings?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Bruh.
And then they took time to announce a 27-inch gaming monitor that comes with a DualSense charging hook. It's a collab coming to the US and Japan in 2026. It's going to have a quad high definition, so it's a QHD display with a 2560 by 1440 resolution. Will support HDR, VRR support, and refresh rates of up to 120 Hertz on both the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 consoles, and 240 Hertz on compatible PC and Mac devices.
That's good.
It sounds really good.
Oh my
I just
god.
hope it's better than Sony announced a gaming monitor thing for their PlayStation console.
Mhm.
Remember the PlayStation 3 3D TV? No one wants to remember that. I don't think Sony even wants to remember that.
Also, for those on the end of the stream, if you just heard a ding, uh, Microsoft Defender was making its presence known. I told it to go away. So
Yeah, so that was the Sony State of Play. Lots of cool announcements for primarily geared toward the Asian market, but for those of us who follow video gaming, a lot of really cool things that are coming stateside. Some of them are titles that I definitely recommend, especially
sure,
Broken
sure.
Lore. If you, I'm Tokyo Extreme Racer's day one for me. Like you don't understand. I used to play those games religiously, and I'm excited. I'm so
Really, I
excited.
couldn't tell.
You know what else we're excited about? The new Steam
Uh,
machine.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say ice cream because I have some of the freezer, but yeah, that works too. I like
Now
my
you
Rocky
make me
Road. What
wanna.
do you want?
I'm a fan of the one flavor that I think most people don't like. I like pistachio.
Respect. I respect it. Not my go-to, but I respect it. But
Anyway, the GameCube.
Steam Machine, the Steam Cube, the Gabe Cube, whatever you want to call it. Oh my god, this thing looks awesome, and I want one.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I have wanted legit, and I'm pretty sure this is why they're doing this. I have wanted for so long, for years, to be able to play my Steam games, my PC games, on my TV in the living room without having to lug my gaming tower, my PC tower, unhook everything, move it to the living room, hook everything back up, all that. Because I've tried to do that before, and eh, but yeah, you get the desired effect, but it's so much work. But now you have the Steam machine running off of they're like running off of like their big picture technology. So you're literally so basically it feels like a console. It plays like a console, but you're playing your PC games. Also, doesn't it have didn't they confirm that it has USB hookups for your mouse and keyboard so you can still use PC controls?
Yes, there are, I think, a total of five USB ports. There's two USB-A ports in the front, two USB-A high-speed ports in the back, and I believe there was a USB-C port in the back as well.
Okay.
So you have multiple ways to hook up some really cool
Yeah.
things.
So more
In
than enough
fact,
ports for me to hook up my keyboard, mouse, and controller, depending on
yep,
what game I'm playing. Because there are games that I play on the PC that I do use a controller for. There's
I
plenty.
mostly play
Hi, Rocket League. How you
controllers.
doing? Uh, but I'm
What's
excited
funny
for
is that
this.
yeah, most of my PC gaming's done on controller too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I know how I
If
game.
you want to get into the specifications, if people care about that sort of thing,
Oh, please
um,
do.
it has its own custom AMD Zen 4 6C CPU, which will allow up to 4.8 gigahertz. The GPU is an AMD RDNA 3 28 CUS. Its max sustained clock at 2.45 gigahertz and 110 watts. So it's pretty powerful right off bat.
I actually really like the
Um,
fact that they're going with that they went with AMD tech over
mhm,
Nvidia. Like technically, yes. Like Nvidia Intel does give you better performance, whereas like AMD is more what you would consider, at least in my experience, the economic option. But
mhm.
considering Intel's recent history with CPUs overclocking themselves and burning themselves out, I feel like going with AMD may have been the safe call here.
Yep. In terms of RAM, it's going to have 16 gigabyte DDR5 with 8 gigabyte GDDR6 VRAM. The power supply is internal using an AC power 110 240 volt charger type thing. There are two Steam Machine models. There's going to be a 512 gigabyte model as well as a 2 terabyte model. They both use NVMe SSDs, and it will also support both versions support micro SD card slots for additional storage.
Excellent.
Uh, it also has a Steam controller, which it comes with an integrated 2.4 gigahertz Steam controller wireless adapter. The display resolutions that it supports up to 4K at 240 hertz or 8K at 60 hertz. For those of you who have 8K televisions, like all 12 of you, supports
It's like no one
G-Sync
has an
and
8K
Daisy,
television.
right? Um, the display is also up to the HDMI 2 display is up to 4K at 120 hertz. We already went over the USB types. I think that's it. In terms of the size, it looks pretty cool. It's basically the size of a GameCube, a little
Yeah,
bit bigger, I think. And it's about 2.6 kilograms in terms of total weight.
I might end up. I'm pretty sure my wife and I were gonna go 50-50 on getting one together just to have in the living room because
Mhm.
I play I play a lot of games on Steam. They play a lot of games on Steam, so it's probably gonna make sense for us to just go 50-50 on a 2 terabyte because I know some of the games that I play are a little chonky. I think some of the games that they play are a little chonky, so I'm not saying like yeah we're gonna download our entire Steam library onto this thing because some of like a lot of the games in my library are best enjoyed at a desk. Some of them would be nice to
Right.
play on the TV, so I'm not downloading every single game I've ever owned on Steam ever. That would be silly. But between the two of us, having that 2 terabyte option is actually really, really nice. So
Yeah. I like this machine a lot more than the original Steam machine they came out with over like I think it was like 10, 12 years ago that they came out with the original Steam machine.
I
That
honestly
machine,
forgot that that was a thing. If that
it,
tells you
it was.
anything about how well it did.
It was the thing. A lot of the failure, I think, was because of the system relying mostly on Linux. Um, and it was just like I think it was probably a little ahead of its time, and people just didn't care enough. But I think this time it's coming out at a better time frame with better specifications, better hardware. Um, and if it's priced decently enough, which I think it should be like a $400 or $500 thing, I'm hoping. I don't know, I could be wrong. It is Valve after all. Um, I think it could do well.
It feels like this one.
I don't think
It feels like
they
this
didn't
one's
announce
being better marketed as well than
yeah.
than the previous one. Because like Like I said, I forgot that it was even a thing. I don't even know that it was a thing to begin with because either I didn't see any marketing for it at all, or the marketing was just crap.
Both.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that explains it. But no,
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
have
super
that.
excited to get my hands on one. It's gonna make gaming on the
I hope it.
go a lot nicer too, because like there are times occasionally where I have to travel for work, and the
Mhm.
laptop that I have for when I travel is technically a quote unquote gaming laptop. It's also running like uh like a GTX 950 in it, so it is very dated. And it can only run so much. Whereas having something like this, it would be far more portable and far more powerful to bring my gaming with me. Is just that's that's perfect.
I'm just trying to see if they have a release date for it. No, no, it just says Q1 2026.
Okay, so sometime in the next
And so,
3 4 months, then
yeah,
is what we're looking at. Hopefully.
yeah, but I'm excited. This is
Mhm.
definitely something to bridge the whole PC console uh community, so people can understand why getting stuff on PC is fun.
By the way, one little tangent I want to throw in here. Can we both agree that with the release of the Steam Machine and with not to get too ahead of ourselves, but with its preemptive success, can we go ahead and say that Xbox is officially dead?
Yes,
Cool. We're on
I
the
think
same
the X.
page. Moving on. That's all I needed. That's all I had to say.
It's funny because I mean, we could touch. I think there's something
Do you want to?
to touch on. Like, what is Microsoft doing with the Xbox? Like, it's one of those stories of how the mighty have fallen.
It really is. Like you're looking at the former king of consoles is now just been reduced to whatever this is now.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
Like there's no game there's not a single game that I can think of that I would want to play on Xbox that I can't get on PC, on Steam, just on the machine I already own. We're getting the Steam machine, a Steam console, so I can play those same games on my TV like a console, so I don't need an Xbox for that. Xbox Live and like Game Pass, I have access to those on my PC, so I don't need to buy an Xbox to use Game Pass or access Xbox Live, which no one uses Xbox Live anymore. Let's like as a social media platform, no one uses Xbox Live as a social media platform anymore. Let's be honest with ourselves on that one. Uh, Literally everything that I could ever want to get an Xbox for and use it for, I can do on my PC and I can now do on the go with the GameCube. Like it's and then I'm not even gonna
Like, you could
touch
just,
the dumpster fire that is Black Ops 7
oof,
and how that's just but it was gonna run while it lasted, Xbox.
yeah,
You
yeah.
will be missed. Rest in piss. But I don't want to play with you anymore.
Right? It's literally what it feels like. You're holding the GameCube in one hand, just dumping the Xbox machine in the trash. It's
Your
really
GameCube and
upsetting.
your Xbox are both sitting over a tub of acid, and you can only save one. Choose why it goes to the GameCube instantly. Like, bye Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, every time Microsoft announces something, and I'm just like, huh? Like, why? Why you do this?
Remember when we got excited for Halo titles?
No, I did get excited for a Halo title, the remake that they're putting on PlayStation 5.
Dude, when you lost like one of your marquee formerly exclusive games to Sony, throw in the towel. You're done. It's over.
Like, I know it's just another updated version of like the Master Chief Collection version of whatever, but like it's still cool that it's coming to PlayStation. And I'm like, yeah, why do I need your Xbox machine?
Yeah. Except the difference is with this one, with the one going on the PlayStation, the difference between this one and what was it, the anniversary edition of Combat Evolved, is this one actually looks good.
Yeah,
I
it's not
hate
Unreal 5.
I hate the graphics. If I can be real for a second, I love Halo. The original will always have a special place in my heart. I hated the graphics of Halo CE Anniversary Edition. Like it looks so jank. It looks so clunky. It's like the original graphics look better than the anniversary ones. Like the only reason I even turned the anniversary graphics on was to see like the certain Easter eggs that you could only see with the anniversary graphics. Now they did clean up their act with Halo 2 anniversary. That was clean as hell. Like that actually looked good. But Halo CE anniversary, the remake coming to PlayStation, sign me the up.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like even I was impressed, and it's hard to impress me sometimes.
I know. I've known you for how
I'm
many years
picky.
now?
I'm just a very picky guy. Like there's the chill guy memes, and then there's me. It's like this. I'm just a very picky guy.
And yet somehow I convinced you to let me take over your show.
Because it's less work for me. Um,
Fair, fair enough.
because we only got to do it once a month,
True.
and I can stick to once a month. It's easy to stick to once a month. Speaking of months and end of the year, we're going into December, which means we have the end of the year awards coming, and of course, the biggest show of the year is the Keeley Awards, aka the Game Awards, which are being aired on December 11th. And a lot of really interesting nominee choices on some of these categories. Obviously, to no surprise, Clear Obscure is like nominated for everything under the sun. Um, I think most of us expected that. But there were definitely a couple of snubs that I wanted to touch on before we go into what we think is going to win, like the more selective categories.
Sure.
Um, I think one of the biggest snubs comes from the best adaptation category. The nominees that they picked were a Minecraft movie, the Devil May Cry animated show, Splinter Cell Death Watch, which is also another animated show, The Last of Us Season 2, and the Until Dawn movie. There are those are interesting choices. I think there was a very glaring oversight. No Sonic 3 nomination? Really? How do we not nominate Sonic?
How could you just snub Keanu Reeves like that? Like I don't get it. Make it make sense.
Another one that I thought was really good that I'm surprised didn't get a mention was the Twisted Metal show. Like
That's
that
true.
show, like
Twisted Metal
especially
was
like
this
Until
year.
yeah, Until Dawn over Twisted Metal for real? Are we serious? I don't know. I was a little miffed at that one. And I'm trying to think what other category had.
I just can't believe you would snub Hedgehog John Wick like that.
I don't know. This year's awards was very interesting. We also saw that in the best I think it was best debut indie or best indie game, Megabunk was nominated, and the creator himself wanted to pull out from the nomination because I guess he felt that even though this was his debut game with the studio that he made Megabonk on, he has done other indie games under other studios.
Hmm.
So he felt like that qualified him, which I guess, yeah, you take the high road, but also at the same time, it's like, does that really count as
I
a
don't know. We're
non-debut?
I don't know. I mean, we're not the ones setting the guidelines here, so
Yeah, I'm just curious as to what the guidelines. Well, I mean, he kind of put his own self-imposed guideline onto that, but it makes it interesting to kind of figure out like what the Game Awards kind of choose to nominate their games, so to speak.
mhm. The one thing I will say,
Um,
there there,
are you,
there is actually there is one snub that I did want to mention real quick, and that is in the best mobile game category. There was not a single, not one Hoyoverse game nominated this year. Thank God.
oh, it's a snub you're
The
actually happy
evil
about. Okay.
is defeated.
Wait, Wuthering Waves is not Hoyoverse, right?
What's up? No, no, it is not.
Oh, okay.
Hoyoverse, the three prominent Hoyoverse games are Genshin, Honkai, and Zenless.
Okay.
And not a single one
Yeah.
of them was on that list. And that makes me
Yay, the
happy.
evil.
You know what was on that list? Umamusume.
What?
And
Those
that's
are
the one that's
taking
got
over the
my
world.
vote.
Yeah, like
We're not
Clear
going to talk about how
Obscure.
much my money Umamusume has at this point either. Don't worry about it.
Clear Obscure, 12 different nominations. Interesting enough, in the best performance category, three of the nominees are from the same game. They're from Clair Obscur. You have Jennifer English, Ben Starr, and Charlie Cox nominated for Best Performance, up against Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotei, Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Konatsu Katu from Silent Hill F.
Troy Baker just always delivers a stellar performance.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
if you ever get around to playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, he literally sounds like Harrison Ford. Like, I do not understand how this guy does it. I want to know what sorcery he performs to do his voice work the way he does. Clear Obscure, Clear Obscure. Jesus, Clear Obscure. You would think, people like the game. Newsflash, we did. It is literally one of the best RPGs that have come out this year, let alone one of the best games to come out this year. Um, Now, obviously, we're doing our own end of the year awards episode. We're going to feature the main feature is always the top 10 games of 2025. We also do like an honorable mention where we pick like five or six different games that would have made uh, the top list, but for specific reasons, we didn't kind of like put them into the top 10. Um, do you think we should give our dear listeners and slash viewers a little insight into some of the games that we're thinking of that might make this list? Or should we wait till the next episode?
let's just give him a little bit of a taste to incentivize them to tune in to our own game of the year episode next month. Just give them a
So
little
yeah,
taster.
no one's surprised. Game of the Year is Helldivers 2 again, because Helldivers 2 will be Game of the Year every year until Sony messes it up or they
Until
sunset the servers.
I think the full quote is Helldivers 2 game of the year every year until the heat death of the universe, the server shut down, or Sony fumbles again.
Yeah. I think I can safely say what didn't make our game of the year. Like, there's definitely personal games that I played through that aren't on the top 10 list. I don't even think they made our honorable mention either. But there's some games, not that they're like I thought they were the best games of the year, but there's just games that I was like,
Yeah.
you should play this. And I think that we'll have some really interesting takes on some of the games that made our honorable mentions, as well as what's going to make our top 10. I think some of the top 10 will definitely surprise people, maybe not, you know. I don't think there's any like real major surprise in the top 10 outside of no, yeah, I think if you name a game that has come out this year that has gotten well received,
Mhm.
um, it's made our list as well. And I think this is probably one of the first times in a gaming year where our list closely mirrors the list of all like the other publications out there. I think this is probably one of the first times that they're almost identical because sometimes we've gone off the green and put other games on our list that other people were like, "Oh wow," and then and I've had people play them and they're like, "Dude, you were right. This game was amazing." I said, "I know.
Yeah.
You should play it." Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like
Um.
just because a game didn't make our top 10 or even our honorable mentions doesn't mean we didn't like it. We can only put so many on the list.
Unreal.
So,
Like 10 plus 5 to 6 honorable mentions. It's already 15 games off rip. Like it's a lot to go over, especially taking the time to discuss each one and kind of like put a interesting spin on why we
mhm.
chose it. Just to give you all a little heads up on what we're doing that might be a little different this year is I don't know if I'm going to do it for the entire top 10. Maybe I'll just do it for like the top five or something, reaching that. But Taylor and I will figure that out. Um, and what I want to do is for each game that we highlight or nominate, well, each game that we put on the list, um, I want to I want to mention the exact moment that happened in the game that made me do the Jericho, you just made the list, type thing. That's something I think doesn't really get talked about a lot. I haven't seen it talked about,
Yeah.
where like when you're playing the game and there's that key moment that happens in the game, or that there's a story part or a certain scene happens, and you go, "This is going to be talked about. This is something we're going to see, discussed, more and more." Or maybe not at all. Sometimes, most people just don't. Like they play the game and then they're like, "Yeah, that game was awesome," but then you kind of forget about it afterwards. I've noticed that happens a lot in gaming. Um, so something that I want to do is highlight, you know, whether we do it for the top 10 or maybe just the top five, I don't know just yet, but I definitely want to highlight a specific moment in the game that made me go, like that moment that makes you take a step back and go, yeah, this is top 10 worthy, or whatever, just something that goes, this is definitely a feels moment that is gonna be remembered. And when the conversation of game of the year um comes up, those moments are the ones that you come back to, and you go, man, this was really special. Just as a perfect example, you look at our last year game of the year winner, Helldivers 2. Um, there's so many moments that happen in it, but like just from the initial descent, when you pick your parameters and you go down, and then you, your soldier character stamps his feet on the pod, and then it fires out of the ship, and then that song just hits. Like that specific timing, with it dun 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 dun
I
dun.
still get
Like I actually
hyped at that moment every
like
single time.
actually it's such a hype moment, and it's such like that specific moment when the first played, and even still when it happened, but when it first played, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good, you know. Um, but just to give you, dear listeners and viewers, an idea of what we're gonna do for this particular episode, I wanna talk about the moment. Um, because I think a lot of really great games have that moment, whether it's the intro cinematic or something, a key event happening in the character storyline, or even just like a cool thing happens when you're playing the game and you're like, oh man, that was really awesome. And it's something that you can't replicate. One of the best examples that I have of that type of experience, Ueda's game, Eco, which was the precursor to Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian, and everything. Eco's this game where you play as this little boy with horns, and you're kind of like guiding this princess type character to escape this castle. And there's a particular sequence where these shadow creatures come out and they try to kidnap her, and you have to fight them off with a stick. And I was on a ledge, so to speak, where it's very dangerous, and they grab her and they're taking her to like the little portal. If she falls into the portal and you let her disappear, it's game over. So I try to grab her out of the portal, and one of the creatures hits me so hard that he falls over the edge. And I'm thinking it's game over. And the game over screen doesn't happen. I'm like, where's Iko? Where's my character? And I'm staring like I haven't touched the camera or nothing. And then the game itself, the camera pans around to show the back of the ledge, and he's hanging with one arm. And I just remember how my jaw dropped. And I was like, I gotta get back up, gotta save the princess. Um, and that was my first playthrough playing the game because I thought I was done. I was like, oh, I'm waiting for the game over screen to come up. But then that slow pan around to show him still holding on, like, no, you're still in this. Absolute cinema. Um, but yeah, just those moments. So expect a lot of that on our next episode,
Yeah,
which we'll announce on our socials when we're doing our Game of the Year, our Decode Plus Game of the Year awards, which I'm very excited for.
it's gonna be a good
You excited too?
time had by all.
For sure. Alrighty. I think that about wraps it up for today's episode. So we will now commence with the shilling.
I'm gonna have to take control of that
Um,
because Mario is not here. So
so of course, if you want to keep the conversation going, you can do so over in our Discord. Discord link being dropped into the chat, excuse me. You feel free to add us. You can add Omega Z, add Taylor. We
yeah,
are
yeah,
over in some.
Taylor May.
You can add us and keep the conversation going over there. You can also check out all our various social media links. We have our universal link page being dropped into the chat there. Um, you can check us out over on YouTube. Over on our YouTube page, we have our teaser trailer for our upcoming wrestling themed visual novel, Kokoro no Pro, which is also featured on IGN's Road Jam. We're very proud of that clip there. So you can check that out as well. If you wish to support us, we do have merch. You can also check out our merch shop over at our Stream Elements. Um, I don't think it's Stream Elements anymore. We just have a
Nope,
regular shop now,
we
right?
have we have our own shop now. New merch,
Yes, we
new
do. So
store.
we have a shop. It's shop.digitalearentertainment.com where you can get all sorts of cool goodies, the mugs, the t-shirts, and then the anything. It's there.
Yeah,
You can order it. If you wish to support us even further, we do have our sponsorship with Image Anime. You can use our promo code DSCOUNTSHIP, which is DEE, SCOUNTSHIP for free ground shipping on all in-stock item orders over $100. It's the holiday season, so if you know yourself are an anime fan or you know someone who is a fan of anime and you're looking to get them a really awesome gift, consider using our promo code over at imageanime.com to save some money on the shipping on all items over $100, all in-stock items over $100. Um, and yeah, we'll see you on our next episode right here on this very Twitch channel. Episode will be uploaded to our YouTube, which you can get in our multiple links. Check that out. And until next time, you've been decoded.
Wait, I'm logged into Reach's Twitch account. What the?
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us across social media for updates. Thanks for watching!